Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I'm your host, the Housecoat Gamer. It's time for Shadow Play, and the last time I play with the Nebula. And then we'll be moving on to Tier 4. I like Tier 4.
Tequila, the survivor you rescued from Demora Station, has provided some very interesting information about both the Tal Shar and the new race with which they've allied. Meanwhile, the Romulan Republic and neutral colonies are continuing to report mysterious abductions. We believe these two events are related. Tequila wants to go home to her colony on Serene Prime. The colony there has remained independent from both the remains of the Romulan Star Empire and the burgeoning Romulan Republic. That puts them in a delicate balancing act. We thought taking Tequila home could be a good opportunity to figure out what's happening behind the scenes of the Romulan conflict. We would like you to go to Serene Prime and investigate.
Oh, lovely. But yeah, this is the first appearance of the Nebula class. The EWAX, or SWAX, dish, with its two torpedo launchers, the original deflector dish with the insert. Very much a galaxy development for the galaxy. It is a very nice ship, though. And you can clearly see that this is the development into the galaxy. The dish is very different, more primitive, you might say. So you could say the Nebula was the final development craft for the Galaxy program. And then it was so successful, they went, let's keep it in production. We're going to need more mid-weight cruisers out there, after all. Especially given, you know, everything. And they still haven't fixed the audio for this. Anyway, one Nebula-class starship versus a Diderityx-class warbird. As I am a player character, and this is a... Oh, I'm thinking this is going to be funny. None of your business. Here's what I think of that. I might be using space powers. Boing. Goodbye, RRW Rhea. You will not be missed. Except by Sela, but who cares about Sela? Not me. Anyway, down we go. This should be mildly entertaining. And still no voiceover, even though she should have one. When I played this the first time, it had a voiceover. Could someone explain to me what the hell is going on? At least I know she has voice acting.
Jolan True, and welcome to Serene Prime. Oh, thank you for returning Tequila to us. I'm sure her family is pleased she is safe. However, you have arrived at an interesting time. I was just preparing to meet with representatives from the Romulan Star Empire and the Romulan Republic. Each are urging our colony to join their faction. We've done our best to stay out of the conflict until now, but I fear we will soon be forced to take a side. Yes, the Empire has a way of offering assistance that feels more like a threat. They offered security services for my world, and I could not risk refusing them. And, to be fair, there have been no abductions since the fleet began protecting the planet. A number of our citizens went missing in the weeks before the Empire arrived. The Empire blames the Republic, of course, but I think Sela likes to blame them for a lot of things. There's no evidence they are responsible, however. In fact, there's no evidence at all. And I think that if the Republic were behind these kidnappings, they would leave some trace behind. If you would care to speak to the representatives, I would be interested in hearing what your opinion of them is.
Ever mention I hate these idiots? I mean, seriously. This guy blames me for blowing up a ship when it fired on me for no reason. Screw that guy. And she has literally nothing to say.
Well, what did you think of them?
Well, I can't tell them. Well, I can't. As I was saying, I literally cannot tell them what to do.
An interesting perspective. Thank you for your suggestion. Our most convincing evidence comes from a survivor of Viranat. And if his story can be believed, he says he knows who is behind these abductions. You should speak to him before you leave. He's behind that building.
This guy should have voice acting. Seriously, Cryptic, how did you screw this one up? I mean, they have literally no excuse. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Why? Why isn't it you lower your shields and prepare to be boarded? Fine. You make me a sad man. And I don't like being sad. It tends to make me mad. Let's just get out of here. I mean, I know I shouldn't have skipped through all the dialogue. I think you guys actually wanted to read it. But that was just demotivating. All of these missions need a bit of reworking. Streamlining, to be perfectly honest. Alright, let's just scan a bunch of freighters and get moving. I know it sounds like a chore, or at the very least I'm making it sound like it's a bit of a chore. But I'm just annoyed. That, and I really don't like playing with science ships. Even the specialized variants. I mean, they're just not good enough. Alright, time to make our way through this. First things first. Scan the beacon. Which is off to this way. shame they don't just recolonize Viranat. Turn it into a bit of a social zone. Scanning the beacon. Yeah, I don't get it. Why everyone seems to be hating on Nimbus 3. I mean, I know Star Trek V was the weakest of the original series movies, but all of those missions are rather necessary to tie into the plot of STO. I also don't get why they were removed and made optional when, well, we just made mention of Installation 18, crap. Didn't want to skip that, but anyway. Every single one of these missions ties into Nimbus 3. That's still funny.
Citizens of the Empire, it is with great sorrow that I report the destruction of our colony in the Viranat system by the terrorist insurgents known as the Romulan Republic. I believe most of the residents of Viranat were loyal subjects of the Empire who were unaware of the terrorist cell hidden amongst their homes and families. Their deaths are a tragedy. When the Tal Shiar attempted to remove the insurrectionists and save Viranat and its people, the Romulan Republic destroyed the entire colony rather than submit to the lawful authority of my forces. I grieve for the loss of innocent life. Rest assured that those responsible will be found and punished for their crimes against the Romulan people. Viranat will not be forgotten.
Oh, the irony. Apologies. Bit of a sore throat. And great. You know, if I wasn't sticking to the actual episode names, I would have named this Fuster Cluck on Viranat. Because it sure is one. Mostly because I'm playing around with a Nebula class Starship instead of, you know, swapping to something a hell of a lot more useful. As you might have guessed, I am not a science driver. I don't do space magic. I prefer just blowing stuff up. And here comes the call for help. I wonder what that aft clamshell's for. A shuttle bay? Sensor packets?
To all Starfleet vessels, our allies in the Romulan Republic are under attack by the Tal Shiar. All combat-ready vessels are ordered to report to New Romulus immediately. Individual orders to follow. Thank you for responding so quickly. Your orders are to rendezvous with Battle Group Phi at Viranat and proceed to New Romulus to reinforce our vessels there. The battle is already underway.
Glad to have you here. Let's get to New Romulus.
Yes, I have a command ship to kill. This is gonna take a while.
We are grateful beyond words for your help. You have arrived in the nick of time. New Romulus does not have the developed orbital defenses necessary to repel such an attack, and Admiral Kararek is calling for as many ships as possible to defend the planet. The flotilla protecting the planet has been pushed back by the enemy assault. They are at their final line now. They need your help. Glad you could join us. Concentrate fire on their command ship.
Easily done, because I'm not targeting anything else. I know it may seem lazy, but I'm in a freaking science ship. A vessel quite literally designed as a support vessel in STO. And yes, I'm aware people can make DPS builds for this thing. That doesn't matter. That's not the intended role. This is gonna take a while. It would be awfully nice if this would get done faster, though. Which, granted, it seems. In the words of the immortal Dr. Phlox, would you kindly die? Seriously. Finally.
On behalf of the Romulan Republic, thank you for your assistance today. You have saved our new world from destruction. We cannot begin to repay these deeds you have performed today, but know that your names will go down in history.
Like George Washington. Yeah, I know, it's not Christmas, but it works.
The Romulan Republic extends their sincere gratitude for your assistance in saving their homeworld. We now know the race you encountered there is called the Elachi, and they are the Tal Shar's new allies. From what you found on Viranat, and what they tried to do at New Romulus, I'd say that whatever they're doing, it's not in our best interests. The Republic is continuing to search for clues to reveal what exactly is happening to the people being abducted by the Elachi. You, however, may be set to a different task.
Lovely. But at least I won't be flying around with the Nebula anymore. I mean, it's a good boat, but it's not that good. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.